Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nupehadda, and today we're here to talk about what's been going on in Yu-Gi-Oh! More specifically, what has been going on with the North American qualifiers. Well, Ghostkeys has won, and everything is the status quo when it comes to winning in these national events, with the exception of UK, which I have to give them props on. But it does bring up a point that I've been talking to some of the people on the chat that I talked to. Certain cards have to be addressed, but the question is, will Konami do it? I'm first referring to Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon is one of those cards that comes along and destroys the entire formats for everyone, until Konami actually does something to stop it, or either ban it or red it, or however you want to do it. Now, there's a few problems here. One, Firewall Dragon is currently an ace monster for the manga protagonists in the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Now, anyone who knows about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series will know that it is a joint operation between Konami and the National Art Association, also known as the NAS. And the NAS provides the artwork for the cards. Pretty much every card you see in this game, including up until now, the NAS has made. And sometimes they'll have particular contracts and all that. Now, we don't know the details on these contracts. Some cards have stipulations on them, probably because Shogun Jump magazine issues, V-Jump magazine, etc. They all have different things going for them. And Firewall Dragon is no different. Now, strangely enough, Firewall Dragon was addressed a little bit in the TCG by going to 1. However, it's got to the point that it needs to be banned, but I don't think Konami is going to do this. What Konami is probably going to do is make a scapegoat with 3 cards I can think of the top of my head. Ghostkeys Suplex, which is the bread and butter of the deck. Two Tails and the Noanites, which is the engine for the deck right now. We're getting the other card we're about to talk about. And Divine, Sword, Phoenix, and Blade. Now, in a perfect world, Firewall Dragon would be limited to 1, of course, rated it to a once per turn clause, and everyone would be happy. But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a messed up world, so we have to be realistic about this. Firewall Dragon is not going to get hit, no matter what we want to believe. Not until the series has come to its conclusion and they go to the next series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and or manga. So, Firewall Dragon, we have to assume, is untouchable until that happens. So what's the next best card? Well, the Noanite Link Monster, Two Tails of the Noanites. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name because I'm bad with names, and you all should know this. She would be the next logical pick. She is a very good card. A Link 2 monster practically allows you to do everything you need. The first thing she does is whenever she is Link summoned, she can search for a warrior type monster and add it to your hand from your deck. Now, for the rest of that turn, that warrior monster by name cannot activate its effect nor be summoned. But before you search for it, you know, with the Link monster or anything like that, you could do combos with and everything, then link into her, and then search for it and be done with it. The second part, of course, is everyone's favorite one, is to send equipped cards with different names to the graveyard, and especially a warrior type monster, equal to the cards you send to the graveyard with different names to its level to be special summoned from the deck to the field. Now, Ghostkeys are one of those decks that are nothing but pure warriors. They are also Earth attribute for the most part, if I recall correctly, but the Earth attribute is not important at the moment. What is important here is that Two Tails can summon any of those warriors to the graveyard or to the field by sending equip cards from the deck to the graveyard, including Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. Divine Sword Phoenix Blade can only be equipped to a warrior type monster. It gains 300 attack. During the main phase, you can banish 2 warrior monsters from the graveyard and add it to your hand. This is not a once per turn clause, by the way. So we have a card that hasn't seen the light of day in years, come out of nowhere because of 2 tails, and can be used multiple times for the Nightmare Engine. Because every single one of the main deck monsters was warrior class. So, what does this mean? Well, either 2 tails gets hit to 1 or banned, or Phoenix Win-Win Blade, or I'm sorry, Divine Sword Phoenix Blade gets banned. Now, I know chat has already stated that Firewall Dragon should be hit and all that, but as I said before, Konami's not going to do it on a realistic standpoint. So it's between 2 tails and Phoenix Blade. And you're wondering, why is Goshki Suplex not being mentioned in this? Well, that's because Konami's not going to hit him either. And I'm going to explain why. First of all, Goshki is still a new deck. It's newer than most decks that we currently have out right now, and it is still getting support. Zeus got the same treatment. Zeus did not get hit hard until after they got everything that they needed that was important. So, stands the reason that Goshkis are going to get the same treatment. They might hit Suplex, but he'll probably go to 2. Because Konami says so. Now, the reason, as I said, they won't touch Firewall is because he's under a particular contract. Now, people are going to dispute, that the contracts don't exist and everything like that, but you have to remember, Konami is a business. The National Art Association is a business. So, surely they're going to have certain things at the series that's not going to get touched until the series is over with and they can move on to newer things. But the thing of it is that even if they erected it in the OCG to the TCG, we would not see that erected at least until a year later. So that does not solve our problem. So, the realistic approach is that the Link monster has to go. The scapegoat approach is that Phoenix Blade will go. And we can always argue about this, but truth be told, I'm probably right on this one. Because Phoenix Blade is the only equip card right now in the game that can be reused multiple times in a deck as long as it's warrior based. It is doing exactly what it was meant to do years ago, but now it is broken beyond all belief because of the new winning decks. The Link monster, as I said, would probably be the first choice, because the Link monster, even though it's a new card, we've seen new cards get the axe later on because of how powerful they are. If Konami decides to nip this problem in the butt and get Firewall Dragon banned, well, that's actually going to be a good thing out of that. But I just don't see it happening. Because they never answered Instant Fusion. So why should they answer Firewall Dragon? But getting back in the topic, I personally don't want to see the Nova Link monster getting hit, because I'm using him in 6 Samurais, and I'm going to be using him in Nova Knights, and possibly every other deck that's going to be warrior focused, as long as the equip cards can be used. But I don't see any other solutions right now. The Phoenix Blade would be a scapegoat hit, but it would not address the main issue with the deck. Sure, it would make it slower, but it's still going to overpower everyone else. It would still be at the top of the deck, and it would actually be having a rivalry with Trick Stars, strangely enough. Now, Trick Stars, I want to be nice about this. Trick Stars needs to be dealt with as well. Their trap card needs to go. No, nothing says more bullcrap than having your entire hand wiped out because of getting bird locked. So, but if Trick Stars did not have that trap card, then this would not be a big issue. Sure, they can find other ways around this. They could use plan disruption, I think it's called, to do the same thing. To send your opponent's hand back to their deck and draw the same number of cards. You just use like a 1-for-1 or whatnot, activate, draw Lockbird, and then activate disruption, and then, you know, you just proceed to win, because they're not going to get their hand back. It's a longer extending combo, sure, but it does answer the problem to what would happen if they lose their trap card. So now, in terms of what I mentioned earlier, there's a third option, and no one's going to like this. Third option is Back C goes back to 3. Japan is doing this. Japan is actually keeping the Ghost Key problem in check. So, yeah, putting it to 3 would probably be the best case scenario. I know a lot of people will argue, it's like, it puts you into an awkward scenario. I'd rather have that awkward scenario than waiting for 10 plus minutes for a Ghost Key player to finish their combo to the point they extra link me, and I have an ill bell on my side of the field that I can't do jack's squat with. So, yeah. I didn't mention anything about the nightmares that need to be hit or anything like that, because right now I don't think they're the biggest problem we have. The biggest problem is the Firewall Dragon, but unfortunately we're not going to get that dealt with because Konami is not going to allow it. So the hit I wouldn't mind seeing is Phoenix Blade. The hit that's as realistically speaking will be the Link Monster. So that's generally all I have to say about it, because there's no other cards I can think of that they could hit or would want to hit. Suplex is not going to do anything good being limited because it will kill the deck, and Konami doesn't want to do that yet. They'll kill the deck in time, but the problem is that you have to address what is going on, and they're not going to do that. They're pretty much, they're patching up what is wrong with the format with the wrong cards. They're not curing the disease, they're only giving you the medicine for the symptoms. So until Ghost Keys get to the point of being tier 0 and where everyone is running that deck in a mirror match in every single event or anything like that, Konami's not going to answer it. Will they answer Trick Stars? Probably not. Ghost Keys will definitely have to be answered first, because they are the most spammiest deck in the world, and they can easily recover fast. But speaking of recoveries and all that, we also have a couple other cards that came out of nowhere from this event. The new Danger Archetype has came out with Bigfoot, Nessie, which is known as the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, and the, God, what's the other one? I can't remember. It's the Jackrabbit, I believe. I would have to look, but so far the deck looks interesting until I saw that trap card. So we got a Graceful Charity for the Archetype, and we don't have a Graceful Charity out on land, so I'm not going to go through their effects right now because I don't recall them offhand. But it's safe to say that every single one of those monsters is this. You reveal the monster in your hand. Your opponent has to select a card from your entire hand, and if it is not the revealed monster, you get to special summon it. If it is, you have to discard that card. But when it's discarded, it does a particular thing. I don't remember what those cards do, but they each have their own effect. I think one destroys a monster, the other one adds a danger card to your hand, one special summons from the deck, and one special summons from the graveyard. There are 4 monsters, 1 spell, field spell I might add, and a trap card. The trap card is the important one. You draw 3 cards, you discard 2, but one of them has to be a danger card. So it says you discard, so which means this deck has good synergy with itself. Oh, I forgot to mention, if the monster is special summoned by its effect, of its own effect, when you reveal it, you get to draw a card. So it replaces itself. And I think the word they use is that it is a combinance of kaijus, mermaids, and Burning Abyss combined into one. This could be a very interesting deck. And apparently for the next couple of sets we'll get more of them. I don't know if they're going to be top tier or not, but from the looks of it, they could be. So, kudos to that. Oh! And apparently we're getting more Gravekeeper stuff and Soul Fusion. It's a set after Cybernetic Horizon. So Gravekeepers are going to get some support. The question is, will they get a Link monster? And if they do, will they also be able to get other support that will help them? I hope they do, for one, but at the same time, I always remember Necro Valley being a thing. And now you can literally do nothing in the graveyard with it, unless you're Gravekeepers. So yeah, that's been going on for the past couple of days. But other than that, with the exception of the UK winning their nationals and everything like that, there's not been anything to really watch. It's good to watch for the understanding of the decks, of what's been playing and everything like that, so you can get some ideas of what people might play. But as of right now, Ghost Keys are the best deck in the game at the moment, followed by Trickstars, and it might move and motion depending on which way it goes, but I feel like Ghost Keys have the better chance. One more thing. We're also going to be getting Nova Knights in this coming set, Cybernetic Horizon and Soul Fusion. We don't know how many we're getting in the next set, but Soul Fusion, we've heard an estimate around 12 cards. Now, I don't know if all these are going to be exclusive cards, or if Soul Fusion is going to have them scattered in their set, like they did in the past. It will be interesting to see. Now, will it elevate the deck and everything like that? God, I hope so, but I just don't see it right now. But hopefully we'll get something out of this. And there's not much more I can think about right now. So, with that, I'm just going to have to say, have a nice evening, and hope to see y'all next time. Later.